Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
It's the show that is just the right amount of too much. The audience of one show right here on Conroe's 106.1, 104.5, and streaming on irlonestar.com, and also available wherever you get your podcast from. I am Andrew, next to the man who wants to be in the movie Deliverance. It's Dick Private Island Schisler.
What's up?
As the music fades.
Yeah.
Now it's nice and quiet. Uh-oh, we've lost him already.
No, it's, I had a soda, and I rarely drink soda, and every time I like the first sips of soda, I either hiccup or I get like a lot of phlegm. I don't know what it is.
Oh, thank you for sharing, but don't share your phlegm, please.
But hey, this is the episode for Christmas, so
It
Merry
is.
Christmas.
I am feeling very festive
you
today.
got your Christmas sweater on?
I've got my Christmas sweater on. There is a Christmas tree outside the studio right now. I think we may need to go take a nice radio family picture
You
together.
know, a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, well, it's a nice little setup they got here.
Yeah. Oh.
I think you need to sit on my lap and
No, you're sitting on my lap.
whatever. It's all good.
Sitting on my lap.
Yeah, man, but it is that time of year, and in fact, Dick, I brought you a little something, and whenever you're ready to open it, buddy, you let me know. I would like to do it sooner rather than
Okay, I'll
later,
do it
if you
right
don't
now.
mind.
I'll do it right now.
All right, so I have brought you a gift. Merry Christmas.
So, you know what's funny, though? I was thinking about, our last conversations we've had about me, how terrible I am at giving gifts. And
Yeah, I wasn't expecting one, yeah.
yeah. I was thinking about, because we always talk about AI. I was wondering, I wanted to have AI to handle everything for me in that regard.
Someday it will.
Wouldn't that be great? Like, you type in a person's name and you go, this is their personality traits.
And it runs out to Amazon or wherever,
And it
buys
just
stuff,
buys
ships
whatever.
it, everything.
Yeah.
You know what? That's on its way. That's
I
actually
think that
not
would
a
be
bad
great.
idea.
And then what I could do is just do it one go and just say when the birthday is.
You do it one time, you set it up.
Yeah, and it's just like every year is like, handle this for me. Every year.
That's kind of a genius idea. The problem is they may get things for them that they already have, because it doesn't know. That would be possibly one thing. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Dick is opening his present now that I got for him. Dick, what is it? What did I get for you for Christmas, buddy?
Duty calls dogs.
Yeah, so it is a 12-month calendar. It's the gift that keeps on giving of dogs in various states of relieving themselves. And I thought this was a tribute to your sweet, sweet Freddie that tends to have a little bit of a pooping problem herself in the neighbors' yards. What better way than to have your very own dog's pooping calendar? Dick, you don't have to say it. Your face says it all. You're welcome.
You know what? This is probably the perfect gift. It really
Thank you.
is. Like, I have a good time with my dog when it poop because she gives you the eye contact when she's doing it.
Yeah, it's
and
very-
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, if I break contact, will she stop? Like, I want her to finish. Okay, now I'm stuck here. I feel like I'm stuck here. I'm like, all right, I'm here with you, girl. I'm here with you. You're good. You're doing a good job. So now I can have
There you go.
multiple
And
dogs.
I must admit that when I saw the calendar online, and yes, I did order this one online. I couldn't find this in a brick and mortar.
Oh, it's even got the butthole,
So
man.
that's the part-
It even got the butthole.
That's the part that I wasn't expecting. I thought it was just going to be dogs squatting, but there's actually a few in there where I think they're in the middle.
Oh,
with
in the middle with it coming out.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, I'm
and that,
looking at it
that
right
to
now.
me is
That's the greatest.
that's a bit much.
I think that's what makes it great.
I don't know. Anyways, Merry
that's great.
Christmas,
Thank
Dick.
you,
It's been a
dude.
great year, and now you can have yourself a nice
Oh, my
calendar
gosh.
through the year.
Well, what's funny is I was thinking about that AI thing with purchasing gifts because tomorrow is the Christmas party for the bowling alley. And
Right.
I've totally forgot we're doing like a white elephant gift.
Oh, don't regift my gift now.
Oh, no, I'm not. But like I was like, I already had a gift I wanted to get. I just never ordered it.
Oh, yeah, it's a little too late now.
It was a fake pregnancy test. And I thought that would be hilarious for a white elephant gift or something along those lines. Because there are going to be younger kids there. Because I was thinking about doing like one of those lingerie store kind of toys things.
Oh, yeah, probably
But
not.
then I
best.
realized like, oh, there's like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds that work there.
Yeah,
and
that's probably not going to be good.
That's not going to be good.
No.
But I was thinking like, oh, a fake pregnancy test. That would be a good gag gift because those are funny, and then especially like people, I can see people wanting that because they can use it later, like down the road. Because it's
sure
you can re-gift
it's reusable,
that.
right? Yeah,
it's a re-gift. But no, I forgot, and I was like, man, I wish there was some way, like I could just technology will take care of this because I know you can have a calendar system. I'm not an idiot, but it's more of like I just don't want to worry about it. Just order something and just type it in. I think
that is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I think that would be excellent. And you can.
Well, someone's going to steal the idea here, and that
That's
app's
fine
going to
with me.
exist. And you're not going to get any credit for it because you can't code or anything like that.
That's all I care about if it exists or not.
Oh, okay. You benefit from using it.
Yeah,
Huh?
no duh. I'm terrible at gifts. Like we go to my brother's birthday party, and everyone has gifts, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be that guy again, aren't I? Totally forgot this was a surprise birthday party.
Just lean into it at this point, man. Just lean into it. This is who I am. This is who I am now, guys.
Yeah,
Well, it is that time of year again.
I didn't get you anything.
I know you didn't. That's perfect.
I didn't get you anything.
Not even some French fries from your Whataburger meal this afternoon.
I didn't even get that.
No, but it is
Someone else got it for you.
Okay. Oh, yeah, my bad. But it is that time of year where, you're at the stores and the parking lots are just crazy busy. And I was waiting for someone to pull out so that I could pull into this parking space. And it reminded me, if you're the guy who takes a minute to back out of, a space while you light up a Pall Mall and crack open a Schlitz beer and got to wait for you to back out. And it takes 15 minutes. I was reminded of that.
No, I'm playing with my pet rat.
Is that what you're calling it now?
Yes, right.
Oh, the rat in the car,
The
right?
rat, yeah.
Sorry.
It's still there.
So he's still
And
eating.
he's eating in the poison. I don't know what's going on, man.
Unless you've just got a bevy of different rats that come in, eat a little bit, and then wander
No,
off
I
and
think
die.
they're staying in my car.
But I'm saying they're eating the poison, though.
Yeah, no, because so what I've done now is I have a bag of poison. This is my life, guys. I have a bag of poison in my glove box, and now every time I park the car anywhere for long periods of time, I put poison on the engine block. And so I was visiting a friend.
I think you need better poison.
Well, that's why I determined after this weekend because
Yeah.
the nests aren't there anymore. So I think the poison is I'm probably killing this rat like the worst way, like expired poison. So it's
Slow
slow
death.
But this weekend was
And now, because he's dying, he's got all of his friends visiting him because
Yeah.
he knows this is like basically hospice care. Everybody, we all need to come and see Frank because this is it. We've got about 2 weeks here, guys. So let's let everyone else. And then they see how nice your car is, and they decide to stay. This is the problem. You need new poison.
well, I'm getting a new car, so it doesn't matter. And I was thinking to myself, do I need to tell them about the rat living in my car when I trade it in? I'm like, no, I'm gonna let that be a little surprise for those guys. So, but yeah, no, that was really funny to me. I was like, this poison's almost gone. This block, like a block, and it's almost gone. I'm like, this guy's either just having the time of his life.
You need to test it out.
I was thinking about that.
Try some
I
of
did.
it.
I was gonna lick it.
Yeah.
and then but we
See how effective it is. If you're not here next week to record, success. But it reminded me, again, when I was waiting in line of you and your terrible backing out techniques, but also the long
I'm not
lines.
okay, what I'm doing is I get in my car, I take the things out of my pocket, I get my phone connected to the car, I find out what I want to listen to before I start driving. Because, it is odd, and a lot of people have pointed this out in my car. Like, I don't text or call in my car.
Well, that's good.
Like, it's not because I think it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's because I literally can't do it. Because if I try,
You're going to run into something.
I'm not even run into something. I'm going to send the wrong message because I'm worried. I'm like, and
You need to train one of those rats to drive, kind of like the Ratatouille,
Ratatouille,
yeah. And then he could just drive
But,
for you. Then you could text.
no, I refuse.
Hell, you could do this show while he drives into the studio for you.
I don't even like looking
or maybe
at
do the show while he's here.
I don't even like looking up music while I'm driving. Like, I just find the playlist, put it on random. I'm like, whatever comes up, comes up.
Right.
And I throw my phone, and I'm like, done with it. Until I get.
This is
to
why
my
it takes you a
destination.
full minute. Well, you're that guy.
So I do everything, all my prep work. If I need to make a phone call, I do it in my car before I start driving.
Yeah. I was put into that odd scenario this week when I went to, I guess it was Target. of what line to choose because they're all so massively long right now. And I see the self-checkout, and it's got 18 people waiting in line, but there's probably 5 self-checkouts. And I'm looking at all the other lines. There may be 3 and 4 deep, but they're the regular ones, and people have a lot of items. And I thought, which one am I supposed to go to here, Which one, and if I end up waiting in the 18 deep line, is it going to be just as fast if I go to the 3 or 4 or whatever? So I waited in the self-checkout, but it got me thinking about self-checkouts in general. These are kind of divisive. Have you noticed this, that some people just really refuse to use the self-checkouts out of sheer principle? They're not paying me. I'm not going to scan my own groceries. Have you not noticed this trend?
Not with people, but I mean, I don't like using them because 9 times out of 10, I have to depend on the attendant because I'm either getting beer or like I'm getting produce that I don't know the barcode. I always mess it up. So I'm like, I'm going to spend more time waiting on somebody to figure this out, especially when you get like weighted items. Because it's like, oh, you didn't put it on the weight. You didn't do it fast enough. And I'm like, man, I got to reset this whole thing.
Right.
Figure this out. And then I use coupons. So it's like, oh, this coupon's not working. But I was like, hey, I want to save my $1. Why isn't this working? Like the coupon still says it's good. So I got to wait for an attendant. And they come over.
At that point, you just go to the regular checkout then, huh? Yeah,
And I usually want tobacco. So like you got to ask an attendant if you're doing self-checkout. And again, why? I mean... Just go to any line you want. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to know that you're doing it for legit reasons. I think other folks just get mad because they're like,
I told you I worked at Kroger and I was a sacker. I was sack boy, and
I'm just gonna not touch that one.
Well, that's one thing I loved is this still goes on today. Is you go to certain grocery stores, they have like 2 sackers.
Yeah.
And then there's like 10 lines open. And so they're like, I'll never forget one of the managers was like, hey, we need you to sack a little faster. And I'm like, I can only go so fast. And he's like, well, you need to do multiple people.
Yeah, I think the theory there is you're supposed to bounce back and forth as a sacker from different lines, right?
But like if you're sitting there have 200 items and the cashier's going, you can't really just stop. And there might be a moment where like they have to put in a code or something. So what do you want me to like run over there while just putting in the code to the next one, come back? Like, no, like that
sounds like you weren't a very good bag boy.
And I profiled everybody. I'm like, that person might tip me. I'm going to get in this line.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. You go for the elderly people too because you know they're going to need help out to their car. And you can't sack anything if you're helping them out to their car, right? So
yeah, there's a couple regulars. She would tip me, I want to say like 35 cents every time.
Oh, wow.
It was great.
That was some jingling money. That's not folding kind. That's the jingle
I
stuff.
respected it. I was like, she's consistent.
And then you can walk back into the store, put your hand in the pocket and move it, and so you hear that little change jingle and just sort of stare down at your other coworkers. Look what just happened here. This bad boy just made 35 cents.
No one tips sackers. No one does.
Yeah. I was a sacker for a little while. I got tipped every now and again. But
maybe 50 years ago they did.
Yeah. I think it's probably
that's
one
when
of those
you were
things.
sacking, right?
Yeah, about that. Well, anyways, it got me thinking about self-checkouts in general because if you would have told me when I was working at a grocery store 20-some-odd years ago or more that there were going to be aisles where the customers were allowed to check their own groceries out, I would have said, you're insane. Yeah. There's no way. Well, what's next? Well, wouldn't you know what's next? Coming to a mall, gym, or office building near you, a self-contained doctor's office powered by AI where you, the patient, draw your own blood and take your own vitals.
Well, there's a grocery store that you don't have to check out, right?
Like you just walk through and it scans everything? Like it has a... how would it do that? If it can't read the barcode, it's got to have some other method of knowing what item.
There's two things that I know of. Right now, currently, like if you go to a Sam's or a Costco, you can use their app, and then when you get an item, you scan it and put it in there.
Okay,
but there's Amazon's been doing test ones where it has cameras everywhere, and you like before you go into the store, you say, "Hey, I'm going into the store. Here's my account," and when it sees you move, pick an item and put it in your basket, it automatically adds it.
Man, I would have loved that as a kid.
And you literally walk out.
Because mom wouldn't have been paying attention, and I would have been like, Fruit Loops, Cheerios while she's not looking.
But no, like,
perfect.
Like you don't have to check in, or you don't have to talk to anybody.
Chips Ahoy, 2 bags, quick.
You don't have to talk to
Red
anybody.
Team, go.
You just go in and do it.
That's pretty cool. Okay, now that's interesting. Again, I would have thought this was like straight out of space. Is it a 12-month calendar or is it a 14-month calendar? I'm pretty cheap, so it's probably just 12. God, that is a disgusting picture of that dog. Good. God, that is nasty. I'm sorry, Dick. I didn't realize it was that graphic.
Oh, I love it.
Well, anyways,
oh, that's my birthday too. Look at that. That's a good dog. That's a healthy dog.
It's regular. So this is DIY clinics, and when I first heard about this, I thought
that's a sad pooping dog.
Oh, I thought that one looks nice that you can't see anything.
That's sad.
So I thought this sounded absolutely nuts, but basically it's a $99 a month membership, and the patient.
I can't.
Okay.
This is great. That's mid-flight.
We've lost.
That's mid-flight, dude.
We've lost him for the entirety of the show here. I'm
mean-
glad you like it though.
Oh, I love it, dude. I'm telling you, like, this is the gift I would love because it's so ridiculous.
You're welcome. Yes, it is.
And it's not shying away from anything. Because, they could
No,
have gone.
it is not.
They could have gone the easy route and just had, just bent over dogs or whatever.
Which is what I thought it was.
And it's not. There's one in mid-flight. I like it.
There's probably several. So this is a $99 a month membership where patients use their phone to unlock the door. So these are like basically self-contained
Oh, wow.
pods.
No one's there.
Yeah, no one. It's completely powered by AI. And when you get in there, you can take your own blood. You can get hooked up to do all these tests and things. And of course, the results get sent to a lab, or you can actually do teledoc stuff while you're in there. Kind of reminds me of the lactation pods we talked about.
What's scary to me about this concept is I feel like every 5 years going forward, we're going to be in a situation where we talk to people less and less and less and less.
And just listen to audience of one more and more and more.
Subscribe today on your podcast.
That's correct.
But no, if you think about, I'm talking about just complete strangers. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, like the Amazon store,
we're living an isolating life.
It's like you don't know. No, it's not isolating.
I think
you're
it is.
still going to be around people, but you just don't talk to them.
I suppose you just text the person next to you.
Because I know I like to talk to people. So if I was in a doctor's office, I'd probably make a comment to somebody that's interesting and would strike up a conversation. But that's me. Sorry.
It's your phone. Yeah, so the results can be reviewed by your doctor's offsite, or you can talk to your doctor virtually while you're in the care pod itself. And now, I got to thinking about this initially. I went, this is dumb. I would never do this. But the more I thought about it, the more it's kind of an interesting concept to expand, I guess, medical access to people who maybe don't want to go to a doctor, don't want to see a doctor. This way you can still go and have your regularly scheduled checkups without having to, go through the trouble of seeing a doctor. But where I'm hung up on, though, is injecting yourself. Could you do that, man? Would you be able to draw blood from yourself?
Yeah.
You could? You think you could?
Yeah, I would never put anything in me.
Well, it's good because I brought a kit right here. I want you to try it live on there.
I don't really care about that stuff. But I would be a little hesitant if a machine was...
but you got to know what you're doing, man, to stick yourself. Like, you can't just... draw blood.
Is that where you draw your blood? Is in your chest?
I'm saying you can't. See, I don't know. Why, and they're just going to let me go in there and do it? Seems a little sus to me. But if I could get past that, I think I might actually give these a try. I was going to poo-poo it when I first read it, but now the more I think about it, the more I think there's a place for these. There's a time and a place for them, I believe.
I have to see the setup. If it's something like you
picture up, check it out.
If you put your arm in and then it's like
it looks pretty futuristic to me.
Because I know that's an ongoing joke with a bunch of nurses and doctors is some people, it's hard to find the veins. So
correct, yeah.
It's like...
And then what happens, in theory, you go in there and you stick yourself and you hit like an artery or something and you just bleed out right there. Good God. And then the next guy comes in and he looks down and is like, oh, man, you just step over him? Jeez, that went wrong. But I really can't miss his appointment. Hold on, Doc. It just seems like a lot of things can go wrong with the self-drawing blood.
I don't see where you're telling me to look.
But it's Axios. It's the very first story in the run sheet. And if you scroll down, there's a nice, cool picture of the CarePod. But basically, it's a series of applications, too, like things you can download to your phone. And you can do full-body scan apps.
I think you're full of it. Because when I see the first one, it's something about Paul McCartney.
I think you're on the wrong week.
What's today?
Oh, no, you're right. I missed that one. Sorry about that. No, yeah, you're right. I didn't put that in the correct order, I suppose. I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah. Mister, I do so much for Audience of One and so
I mixed up the order. That is strange. I missed that one.
When you kept talking about it, I was like, where's this coming from? Because
oh, right, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Oh no, that does bring up a good point, and I guess I will move to the next subject because I did miss that story. My apologies. Are you a fan of that song? It's a Wonderful Christmas or Wonderful Christmas Time from Paul McCartney. You know the one I'm talking about?
No.
Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. It kind of has some weird synthesized, like keyboard music to it.
Okay. I'll look it up.
Okay. Well, it's one of those extremely divisive Christmas songs. Either you really hate it or you really like it.
Okay.
I tend to like it. I didn't think it was that bad. Now, I can see why people might not like it because it is highly synthesized.
What's a bad Christmas song to you?
Hippopotamus for Christmas is kind of, I don't
That's a
know.
song?
I don't know if that's, yeah.
I don't.
I would play some of these, or we would play them, but
Well,
we
what's
don't
fun-
want to get copyrighted.
I'm not gonna lie. I do the Christmas music for downtown.
Do you?
For the past
and you don't know what this
years.
song is?
Oh, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I've listened to a lot of Christmas music, but it's always the standards because they are basically the city's like, hey, we just want to play music and feature some of the sponsors for the Christmas celebration they do down here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll put together a little thing with voiceovers and stuff. But you would be surprised how hard it is to find like good Christmas songs that are for the public. Not like, oh, I love the hippopotamus song because I'm a weirdo. But I would never put that in that rotation for the whole public to hear.
It's a good one.
I played like 9 versions of Rudolph the Red.
Yeah, there you go. That is a bad song. But basically, a musicologist broke down why that Paul McCartney song is really, truly annoying. And basically, it comes down to the simplicity of it. It's completely overly simplistic, and the synthesized sounds tend to drive people insane. I'm not going to get into it because I think if you're not familiar with it, it's not that big of a deal. The second article,
Well, Christmas
by the way,
music doesn't really. I don't really listen to Christmas music outside of doing that thing, and I don't know. I just don't really listen to Christmas music.
Okay, well, we will move on. This was an accompanying story with the self-service, the self-checkouts.
What
because
Christmas
now
stuff do you do?
I do it all. I do all of the
Well, like,
stuff.
do you go to church?
I'm wearing a sweater right now.
Well, do you go to church?
Do you go to church? Were
Not
you being
for-
so judgy?
I'm not judging. Because I was thinking to myself, it's like, all right, some people like do Christmas caroling.
I do that too. Absolutely.
Are you serious?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Christmas
because
carol.
I could see you doing that with your
What?
family. You're very involved with your family.
I'm extremely insulted right now.
I can
You
see.
think I look like Christmas Carol guy to you?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Have you
Take
not-
that calendar
oh,
back. I want my calendar back.
No, when I saw your Halloween house, I was like, this guy gets it. Like,
Yeah.
he gets the holiday.
But I'm not going door to door and singing "Oh Holy Night" to people.
I can see it.
At 2 a.m.
I can see it.
See, I'm insulted now.
And it's a family thing, and you guys like, oh, I can't wait till afterwards. We get our hot cocoa and cookies.
Oh, now that part might be kind of sweet.
See, I told you. You probably did. Now you're gonna do it.
Now, I think I did caroling when I was a kid once. You know, that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Probably for
I'm not
choir
really a
or whatever.
singer,
But
so I mean, I like to sing, but I'm terrible at it, which is fine with me. But I'm not like an organized singer where I get to go. I want to go perform in front of strangers.
right, you're not that.
So you
to
don't go
that level.
caroling, but you do go Christmas shopping. Like you do.
I mean, I have to do that. Yeah, I do participate in that. Mm-hmm.
Because if I was shopping, I'd just do everything online. I would never go to a store.
Right,
Unless,
we've established that.
unless there's a specific thing I'm looking for that
Right.
only they have it. And I would make the phone calls before I even go there. Like, hey, do you have the Buzz Lightyear toy? All right, I'm there. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other Christmas. Like people go to church. Mm-hmm. They do that. They do the Christmas Eve thing. I do that with my grandma. I take my grandmother since my grandfather passed away.
That's
I
sweet
do
of you.
do that. I do that. And then, which is always an adventure going there with her, because she's hilarious. She's old school where she's been in that same church for 50
Yeah.
years, so she just judges everybody.
I like the Nutcracker. We've done that a few times. I like going and seeing the Nutcracker.
Nutcracker. So that's
I like
another one.
I like that one. So maybe that's
There's that. What else is there? Gingerbread house making.
yes. I'm pretty bad at it.
But do you do it though?
I have done it several times. Yeah, mine always looks like it has a foundation issue, no matter what.
Yeah, mine.
and it needs a new roof.
Mine looks like a crack house.
Yeah, yeah. I think that doesn't surprise
So
me.
mine is always good.
Like part of it's melted on the side where they've had an explosion trying to
It's
cook
like,
meth.
what happened here?
This is where we're doing fentanyl.
What other kind of cool events are
God.
there? What?
This show.
Oh, the nativity scene. That's a thing, right?
Yes. Have you ever participated in like a live nativity scene? And if so,
No.
what character were you? What character would you like to be? You want to be the main show. You want to be Jesus.
I don't really care.
I want to be one of the wise men because I want to carry myrrh. Isn't myrrh? Myrrh. Isn't that one of the things that he brings to the baby?
Okay.
You went to ACU, bruh.
Doesn't
You
mean I
should
know
know all that
everything.
stuff.
Well, it depends on what religion or what sect of Christianity we're talking about. It's all different stories.
Nice, yeah, nice segue.
Yeah.
Way to try to get out of that one.
No, I did have a good joke. One of my buddies did one of his Christmas cards, and it was the nativity scene, and he replaced the people with his family. So, like, his dogs and cats were, like, the farm animals, and then his newborn baby was baby Jesus. And so we were on this chat group, and he's like, look, everyone's like, that's so funny. That's such a great card. And I was like, it's kind of weird, though, because you're trying to – is that kid yours then? Because technically that kid's not yours. And you're just you're the stupid dad who's like – How do you think that conversation went
Which one is that?
with Mary, the Virgin?
Uh-huh.
And you're Joseph.
Are we really doing
I want to
this?
say his name is Joseph, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm like, I always wondered how that conversation really happened. Because it's like, oh, you're pregnant. And you're like, wait a second, I haven't slept with you. And it's like, no, it's the Son of God. And then this Joseph guy's got to deal with that his entire life. That'd be a great movie. Mel Gibson should make that movie.
Yeah, right.
Think about the neighborhood guys making fun of him at the bar. It's
Yeah.
like, man, you're still with her? Like, you're not even the father. You're an idiot. And it's like, oh, man.
Yeah, and that does bring up some discipline issues when the kid is younger, I would think. Like, how do you discipline him?
Like, you're not my dad.
That's
Can
one
you,
of them.
Can you imagine baby Jesus saying that? You're not my dad. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you can't spank him either, I suppose.
I mean, can you?
I mean, you're hitting the Son of God. It's probably not a good idea to slap him around. Just throwing that out there.
I think it would be a wild ride because there's a first couple years where he like doubted everybody. He's like, is my wife crazy? Like, she's saying she got pregnant by God, not me.
I'd like to think I'm a god.
Yeah, his parents are going like, why are you with her? She clearly cheated on you, Joseph. And you're like, Mom, shut up.
He looks just like
Because
me.
if I leave her, God's gonna kill me. We're talking about the old school Testament God, dude.
Yes, he will smite you. Turn you into a pillar of salt.
I think that would be a great movie, just from his perspective only. And just
The guys-
you already have all the scenes.
South Park guys could make that,
yeah,
I
you have
imagine.
all the scenes already. Everyone's making fun of it. The whole town's
Yeah, it's already
whispering.
basically written.
Yeah, and so many good gags while he's trying to raise the Son of God. He's like, oh, like again, do I discipline him or not? I don't want to burn in hell.
Sounds very reverent, this movie you're coming up with at the
I
moment.
think it'd be great. And you know what the sad part is? The end is Jesus dies.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler.
Can you imagine that's the end scene? He's like holding Mary and she's crying. And he goes, I guess you were right.
I've got to steer this show
I
back
guess you're right.
straight.
Oh, man.
So avoid self-service checkouts. A lawyer warns, or it could cost you thousands. Back to the self-service. Oh God, he's got the calendar again. So an attorney and an influencer, Carrie Jernigan, who shares legal advice on her TikTok account that has over 1.2 million followers, has said, do not use self-service checkouts. Steer clear of them. As a criminal attorney, she said that you could end up getting accused of theft.
Oh, I believe it.
You're right. And because a lot of times, she said technically there's three types of people who are stealing things, right? So there's people who intend to do it, like they know, okay, look, I'm just going to steal things. I'm good at doing this. I'm going to steal it. Then there's the people who unintentionally stole something and didn't truly mean to. And then there's the people who, will not do it, right? But basically, these large stores aren't going to take the time to try and really be detailed about it. They're just going to accuse you, and you're going to have to take the time to go and represent yourself in court, and it's a big pain in the butt. So she says just steer clear away from them altogether, which is interesting. This is the second group she calls the theft by mistake group. These are people who that genuinely thought they scanned an item but just forgot to.
Because I always felt the rule should be, and this is coming from a very tenured or a tenured grocery store sacker boy. Mm-hmm. I always felt that self-checkout should only be for those who have a basket.
Right. Okay.
Like you can't have a cart and go to the self-checkout.
Too many items.
Like no, even if you have water, like 3 items of water, like you still can't use self-checkout.
Okay.
Mainly, the only reason I say that is because it's too bulky. Like you're trying to get in and out, and there's too much stuff going on. So you cart people should be in the cart lanes, and
Okay.
I'm a basket person.
Okay.
Clearly, I'm a lone wolf.
Yes. Look at you.
When I go to the store, I'm like, I got a limit to whatever can fit in this basket.
That's a good way to budget yourself. The third group is called the truly innocent. Most of these are not getting charged day of. This is interesting. Rather, the predicament begins when someone in the asset protection department of the store starts counting inventory, perhaps days, weeks, or even months later, comes up short, goes back, reviews films, matches it up, says, oh, this person looks like they stole something. And you're completely innocent. Like you actually didn't do it. That's also
Like
a
Joseph.
problem. Right. Right. I didn't do it. Unbelievable. Go back, check the film. Anywho, so yeah, that's one good reason to avoid the checkouts altogether. Sorry for that sort of out of order, disjointed story there. Paul McCartney did not get his due. I'm terribly sorry. Dick, are you familiar with what rage rooms are? We've kind of talked a little bit
Yeah.
about them before.
I've
right?
seen them where like you basically paid money to break stuff.
Yeah, they look pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever done one. Have you ever done one?
Yeah.
No? Okay, well,
Do I look like a person who has a lot of rage?
you look like a basket guy. We just established that. Well, apparently this might be a good place to take a date because owners of rage rooms are noticing a disturbing trend. And I think you know exactly where I'm going. People go to these rage rooms to take out some of their aggression, break things, computer screens, glasses, all kinds of things. But they're also getting some loving done while they're there.
Are you subscribed to Google keywords of like
This is New York.
obscure places people make love? I feel like you have a story for me about making love in some weird hanky-panky place.
I am educating the onesies, okay?
Well,
And I'm also trying to help you out, brother. Come on. Rage room sex. That sounds like it's right
Yeah.
up your alley.
farm to table, man.
It says every once in a while people do get a little bit handsy. They've had customers lay down in a room together in
that
the
would
broken
be-
glass.
That would be the funniest
Weird.
thing. Think about you're taking
Weird.
like your date and you've only been on a couple dates and we go to one of those things and she's like, this is really turning me on. And you're going like, what, breaking things?
Right.
That's not a red flag.
Maybe it is. Maybe that's the perfect
Yeah,
place to take them.
I know,
For
it's-
lots of reasons.
So you're going to throw plates at me later.
Either she's having a good time or she's having a really good time.
Yeah, if you're turned on by that, I'm a little scared of you.
And then if you are being really aggressive, that nosebleed kicks back up. She's really into it. She's the keeper.
For a little bit.
Yeah, for a little
I've
bit.
decided I'm only going to keep my women for a couple years till they expire.
They don't come with expiration
Yeah,
dates
they-
on them, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to inform you. It's not like a
that's
jug
how,
of milk.
That's how I break up with them. Like, you've expired. And then I leave. I'm just kidding.
Last story before the break. Have you ever heard of the Shop with a Cop event and what this might be?
I've heard of coffee with a cop.
Yeah, you
I've heard
have.
of that.
That's where you go and have coffee. You buy them coffee and you tell them how much you appreciate their service.
No, I just remember you get partnered up and you talk to a cop.
Okay, well, this is Shop with a Cop, and basically what this is...
See, this guy isn't even pooping. This is a fake one.
I should have done this calendar at the end of the show.
This is before. I'm
I'm gonna have to take this away from you.
Is it started or is this after or before? That dog looks like
A Shop with a Cop
it's struggling
event.
now. That's a struggling dog right there, dude.
Is basically for children that might be disadvantaged and won't have any gifts at Christmas time, but also might need to have improved relationships with law enforcement. Right, so it's one of these things where they go into areas of the city where,
You mean kids who lack discipline?
or lack the awareness that police are not always bad. Let's put it that way. Okay, and so it's sort of a community outreach thing that the police officers do. You know, hey, they get to spend some time with the children. They also get to buy them gifts for Christmas, and they may not have had them otherwise. Well, it's a great event. However, a 62-year-old woman in Michigan decided that was her opportunity to steal some stuff. So she was busted for shoplifting at a Shop with a Cop event at Walmart. I love it. I guess the idea here is, though, they're busy. They're not going to notice me. This is the perfect time.
The thing that I always laugh about with shoplifters is I feel like the conversion rate of a successful shoplifting event is not high. Unless
you know what?
unless it's like makeup.
Unless they're going through the self-checkout. This is what what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what I'm saying, because it's like...
Makeup, because it's small.
Yeah, because I know a lot of...
stealing
one of my
makeup?
friends in high school tried to steal DVDs.
Uh-huh.
And he would go through this whole thing where he would, like, cut the DVD open. He could do it without even looking at the box. That's how much he's done it.
Whoa.
You know what I'm talking about? When DVDs, you just had that punch hole where, like, you can... So he could literally cut the bottom of it, fold it.
It was the anti-theft device, essentially. Yeah, a big
and-
plastic thing, like a.
And he could fold it, and then it would come out and just slip right through the hole he made.
Okay. Step 1.
And then he would put it in his pocket or put it
Step
in his
2.
jacket.
Wait for a shop with a cop event and do that.
But then he got
700
busted.
times. Yeah. Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's just, that doesn't seem worth it. Like, why? Like, is there something worth stealing at Walmart right now for you?
I mean, I'm sure there is.
What would it be?
I don't typically engage in theft. You know what? I'm going to steal back that calendar from you.
No, I want it.
It's a trooper said this woman stole over 727. That's an awfully specific number to say over. Why don't you just say the exact amount? Stole over $727 worth of merchandise as 75 officers were present. One of the troopers was notified by staff members about the shoplifting in progress, and of course,
She wasn't participating in that.
No, she just looked around and went, "Now's the time."
Well, hey, see, I can see that being a dare.
It says, ironically, the suspect had parked her car next to the patrol vehicles of the police officers participating in the event.
I like it, though.
Yeah, no one said she was really smart. Okay, that's a good time to take a break. When we come back, we got some stories about bugs. And what type of bug killer are you? Stay tuned. Audience of One, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. right here on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5. Listen to the brain droppings of local hosts, me, Andrew Belshner, along with the jewel of Montgomery County radio, Dick Schisler. Topical musings, news stories, oddities, or just weird conversations that we normally have with ourselves, all mixed together with the occasional guest. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
All right. Welcome back to the second part of Audience of One here on Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget, you can always reach out to us by emailing us at audienceofoneshow@gmail.com. We do have a text message line, so we encourage everyone to share their thoughts on anything, and you can call us at 936-463-2322. We actually might play you on one of our shows if it's appropriate. But as you can tell, that bar is very low because I have a calendar of pooping dogs. So we can really do whatever we want here on Audience of One. We're here every Wednesday on podcasts, YouTube on Lone Star Community Radio, Facebook Lone Star Community Radio, and of course worldwide at irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. And we're also a nonprofit radio television station, so we need donations or sponsorships. So if you're interested, just check out irlonestar.com/AOO.
No one said we weren't tacky.
Yeah. Now back to the show. I hope Andrew got his bearing straight after I confused him.
Yeah, I think I got everything lined up in the right order there. Sorry about that. Actually, everything was in the right order. I just missed it. And I would have never even known it until the end of the show had you not said, what's this about Paul McCartney? I would have gone, oh, right. Forgot that one. We'll do it next week. But you threw me off there. And apologies.
I don't see how you'd... See, if y'all didn't know, Andrew does a lot of research work for these articles about random places people have sex in.
That takes most of my time.
He writes a lot of notes, so it's really hard to read through them all and understand exactly what he's talking about because 9 times out of 10, I don't see this until 5 minutes before we start. And which I really appreciate because I feel like it adds more to the show. Where I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And now I knew. It was funny though, is when I saw that I literally had to close everything, reopen everything to make sure I'm opening the right thing, and I still didn't see it. And I made a decision because I knew if I said this to you, and I knew I was right because clearly the date was right, and I'm like, I'm not seeing this thing.
Yep. No.
And right when I said it, your brain went all over the place.
I'm like, wait, what is that? Yeah, it threw me off. So
I love it.
Anyways, Dick, I got a serious question for you. Are you at liberty to say your weight?
Yeah, I want to say last time I weighed myself, I was like 161.
Wow.
Like that.
Okay. Nice. I'm about the same. Do you think that is more or less than 4 baby elephants?
It's way less.
Or a baby elephant, I should say. Sorry.
Probably around, I would say, a baby like just came out of the mama.
Fresh out of the chute, like your calendar over there.
Okay. Is that the same hole they come out of? I'm kidding.
We're going to have to do a little lesson
love
after the show.
I love it. I would say probably more than 160. Probably like right there at 200 if I had to guess.
Pretty good, man. Baby elephants weigh around 200 to 300
Yeah.
pounds. So definitely you and I weigh less
I've never seen a baby elephant.
than a
either.
baby elephant. How about a baby llama? Do you think you weigh less than a baby llama? Or more?
More.
Right? I would think so too, except we would both be wrong because those suckers weigh 280 to 450 pounds. I didn't think llamas were.
Llamas are not that big.
No, but I think it's the size at which they're born at, right? Because a baby koala, do you think you weigh more than a baby koala?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they weigh 0.035 ounces. Baby koalas are like the size of a gummy bear when they're born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know
Is that
this.
what a gummy bear is?
Yeah, they're baby koalas. Yeah, that's
They're
what makes them
based
so
off that?
That's what makes it so tender.
You know there's some creepy society that ate that. You know it.
Oh, it's like a delicatessen.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty. That's
Pretty
so
crazy.
nasty.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. I thought that was a mistake.
How many litters do they have?
Well, their gestation's really, really short. It's like 30 days. That's why they're so tiny. And then they finish, growing. Aren't they a marsupial? I didn't look that up. Right, where they continue developing inside of a pouch like a kangaroo does.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, I was asking more of, like, how many babies do they have in a year?
I mean, I don't know
'Cause I
that.
feel like a lot of things can go wrong being that small.
Yeah, you get stepped on rather easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
That's wild.
It is wild. So we definitely weigh more than a baby koala.
mean,
Now the reason why, what?
Have you seen koalas fight?
No, it's pretty wicked, pretty vicious.
Yeah, they sound like demons.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
Like straight up demons. It's great.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, you should.
The only reason I bring that up is because I ran across this MSN article, and sometimes the
Where is
articles
it?
aren't. I'm not even gonna. Don't goad me into this. Sometimes the articles aren't even worth reading, but the headlines are. This says man weighing more than 4 baby elephants dies after being bedridden for 5 years. Sorry, that's why I said 4 baby elephants earlier. But then I thought about that. Wait a minute.
I'm more interested
What-
in the baby elephants. than
Why
these
the
guys.
heck would they title an article like that? It says a 6-year-old man who was heavier than 4 baby elephants has passed away after spending 5 years trapped in his bed. Just say how much he weighed. What does the 4 baby elephants have to do with anything? His name is Leonid Andreev from Russia, and he weighed over 616 pounds, which is how many stones? Quick, your stone to pound ratio, your math. I know you learned this in the 5th grade. Everybody did in the metric system. That's 44 stone.
I'm still looking for this article.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's.
I'm just kidding.
Don't do this to me. You know that would just drive me
Insane.
crazy.
I know, I love it.
But yes, I don't know why they
love
decided
it.
to word it that way.
That's
More than
clickbait.
40.
Clickbait.
Well, it obviously worked on me. Dick, what type of, as teased, killer of bugs, and let's say cockroaches, to be more specific, are you? Because I think there's a couple of different kinds of killers, right? There's the people who step on them with their shoe, right? Although you run the risk of there being some unintended results and some squishing of things that's
I don't
pretty
really
gross.
care. I just hit one with my hand.
With-
Who gives a hoot?
with your hand.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just a bug, man. You go wash your hands.
Okay. Then there's other people who might use like a broom because that's not going to
The only
squish
thing
as bad,
I wouldn't
but
hit
certainly will cause
is,
death.
like a wasp. I'm not going to hit a wasp with my hand
Oh yeah, yeah.
because you could sting yourself.
Absolutely, you could. You mean to tell me you have literally killed a cockroach with your bare hand?
I've killed a cockroach with my butt. I sat on it because I get up and I'm moving and I'm like about to sit
Well,
down.
but that was unintended. Though.
No, like they're like there's a cockroach right there and I'm like already sitting down. I'm like okay, and I killed it and I wiped it off. I'm like,
I
there
think
you
you
go.
were you couldn't stop. I thought you like literally saw it and went ooh and ran over there and sat on it.
Well, I mean, I kind of did. I saw it and
Eat
I was
this.
like, I was already kind of in that motion. I'm like, whatever.
That's abnormal. So now we've learned that you're that type of killer. So it doesn't matter. But then there's type number 3, right? And these are the naturalists who will capture something and let it go outside, right? Not me. I'm not that kind of guy. If you're in my house, dude, you are dead.
I would do terrible things to that rat.
You're already doing terrible things to it, I think,
I know
dude.
I'm slowly dehydrating it.
He's been dying for 3 weeks
Yeah.
now.
But
Put that thing out of its misery, Dick.
I'm trying, man. I only seen him once. I already gave him a name, and I was like, Harold, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna find you.
That's the problem. You're not supposed to name them
Who cares?
because now you're getting attached.
I have to remember.
And I think you're subconsciously
No.
extending his life.
I have to remember the names of my enemies. So that thing.
So you know what to put on his headstone?
No, I'm
Here
gonna,
lies Harold.
No, I'm gonna chop that thing up and put it around my car and be like, "This is what happens when you come into this area."
Yeah, just his head to let all
No,
the
all
other
body,
rats
all
know.
the body parts.
Ew, that's very
Yeah.
like what is that? Trying to think of the I can't think of his name. The headless no, it doesn't matter. Jack the Ripper. Wouldn't he
Yeah.
like rip the heads off of people and put them out on the stakes in front of his house or something like that?
That's not Jack the Ripper.
Okay, I don't know. I'm confusing them.
I think they're talking about Dracula.
Yeah, maybe. That's kind of the same guy, right?
Yeah, Dracula's the same as Jack the Ripper. Yes.
Wasn't that the one that sung in the opera? No, that's a different guy too, huh?
Oh man. What are we gonna do here?
Well, I guess there is a hybrid. I said there were 3 types of roach killers. I guess there's a hybrid. There's also the people who just spray the bug spray.
Okay.
Okay. And I do that if it's available and I've got it right there, or maybe they're in an area that I can't quite get the boot on. I'll spray. But I have this really bad habit where I spray entirely too much insecticide on them. Like I make sure like they're drowning in it. And I think I
Okay.
got that from my wife because she'd be like, are you sure you got enough there? Spray it again.
Yeah.
He's still moving. Keep spraying. And I'm like, got it. Well,
I got it.
yeah. Well, apparently there's a man, 54-year-old Japanese man in Kumamoto. Every week, man. This is off the island of Kyushu, who happened to discover a single cockroach in his department December 10th. And according to this report, his strategy was to, quote, spray a bunch of roach killer all over the place. But it backfired massively and literally. Because about a minute later, after spraying the cockroach, an explosion occurred that was big enough to cause minor injuries and completely blow out his balcony window. And you're thinking, what the heck happened? Well, apparently there was like a heating element there in his flat, or whatever you want to call it, in Japan, and he sprayed it with this insecticide, and I guess that stuff is flammable enough, it blew up. But he got the roach.
That doesn't surprise me though, because that doesn't surprise me.
But I have heard people say, oh, there's a bug in my house. Burn the whole thing down. Burn it down. Got to burn the house down now. Well,
yeah, that was
this is what he did.
There was a person I knew, and it was probably one of the most annoying characteristics of her was if she saw a cockroach.
Yeah.
It was the loudest. Like it was, it's almost like if she's witnessed a murder, because it'd just be like, say we're just sitting here, and we're at like a restaurant, and then you see like a cockroach on the wall or something like that.
At a restaurant, that's the worst.
Or
Worst.
wherever. I don't
Well,
care.
it makes a difference. No, it does make a difference, though. A restaurant is one thing.
Oh God. Well, anyway, she would just like immediately go like that. Like no matter how many people are in the room, it could be one person, it could be 10 people, it could be 100 people. I was sitting there going like, you realize people are going to be frightened when you scream like that,
Right. And it is, after all, just a bug.
Yeah. And there's been several scenarios I've been in with this person where I was like, I can't handle this. Like I'm gonna walk away from you because you're seeing something.
Yeah, you're making a scene. Although I have to admit, I may have emoted a sound similar to that when they fly. I can't handle that. If they're on the ground, I'm about to do my thing. Let's say I've got my broom or my insecticide, and they just go deuces, and they take off. Oh yeah, no, that I may or may not have screamed a little bit.
I have on that particular person. I have thrown one on them
Okay, don't be that guy.
because I got tired of their BS.
We're saying they deserved it.
Yeah, when they're screaming like that.
Oh, it was the same person.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? You need to get over this.
Was this like an immersion theory or something?
Yeah, I was like, you need to get over this real quick.
Or therapy, immersion therapy. You just It's like, we're going to cure you of smoking. We're going to make you smoke 800 cigarettes today, and then you'll never want another one. This way you become one with the roach, and you love them. Now she lives in a roach commune, all thanks to you. Brings them home.
You ever seen that Jerry O'Connell movie?
I don't believe I have.
I forgot what it was called, but it was about him befriending a bunch of roaches. Like at Joe's apartment. Joe's apartment.
Oh, Joe's apartment. Yeah, okay. I remember it. I don't think I saw it. That was like a late 90s,
Yeah, it was
early 2000s.
Funny movie.
Was it funny?
Yeah.
Was it funny like Freddy Got Fingered funny, though?
No, it was funny like the Suicide Squad movie where she can control rats. And so that was like
Again,
disgusting, but it was awesome at the same
we've
time.
come full circle here.
So it's cool. I was digging it. Rats are interesting little creatures. I like them.
But not enough to not kill them.
Well, no. See, that's what. So this weekend I was with my family, right? And I go, you know, it's crazy. I wouldn't even care if it lived in my car, if it just wouldn't ruin my engine.
Oh my God.
If it never chewed up,
That would be pretty funny.
if it never chewed up anything in my engine that I had to fix 4 or 5 times,
You wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, whatever, dude. Like the car is the car.
You go to take your car in to get the oil change. Hey, Harold has his little room over there in the corner. Could you please not disturb it?
Yeah.
This is the time he normally sleeps. You know, he's nocturnal. He comes out at night. So let's not disturb the rat that lives over there.
Well,
Thank you.
You know, it's funny. This is how bored I am with my life. So I was wondering if it really lived in my car. So I went to go stay the weekend.
Depends on how you define live, I guess.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. So this weekend, I went to stay at my brother's house, and what I did was I left food inside the car
On purpose?
on purpose because I
For
wanted
the rat.
Well, I wanted to see if it was living in the car because
Not just the engine block.
not just the woods by my house. Mm-hmm. So because I've seen Harold in the woods leaving my car, so it's like, okay, so clearly it's coming to my car when it's hot, so it can warm up. So I wanted to see if it was living in the car because I was like, that's going to change my whole strategy here.
Sure, and where you put the poison. Yeah, he might just be sleeping in the engine, but living in the car. And you're driving in, and he's behind you, walking around
know.
inside the seat.
But I do have the final solution, and I'm going to initiate it this week. Mm-hmm. So
Okay, that is?
So what I'm gonna do is underneath the car, I'm gonna get some cardboard lids
Okay.
and turn them upside down, and put some sticky traps and cheese all around in the lid.
Oh, yeah.
And put it right underneath.
Okay, you got to be prepared for what you're going to find, though.
Yeah, hopefully it's a whole lot of them.
Yeah, but they ain't going to be dead, and then you're going to have to deal with
Yeah, and now I can have a talking to them, and I'll be like, "Here's the deal, guys. You've been coming in my engine, chewing my stuff up. That's punishable by death in Dick's house."
So are you going to use a broom? Are you going to step on it like a roach?
Actually-
are you going to take them out to the woods and release them?
No.
On the sticky pad.
What-
Don't do that. That sounds
No,
really
what I was gonna
inhumane.
do is I was gonna put a weight on the cardboard and throw it in the lake, and just be like,
I've heard that's the most peaceful way to go.
so there you go.
Lake water in the lungs.
Yeah, there you go, Harold.
Wouldn't it be really weird the next day you come back
And there's Harold's back.
and there Harold's
Then
back
I'd
with
be-
that brick and he's soaking wet and just looking at you like, oh, you're going to have to
Wouldn't
do better
that be
than
a
that.
great Christmas movie where like the rat is the spirit of Christmas and it's haunting me this whole Christmas?
Here we go again.
It's gonna be great.
First, we desecrated Jesus, and now we're going to do what now? We're making a Christmas movie out of a rat?
Well, I've been giving him poison for a week and a half now. It seems like so. It's like maybe he's already dead, and he's just coming back, and then it's just like zombie Harold.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I know. I'm telling you, when I saw this poison was almost gone, I was like, I'm killing their whole family. Like, I've been killing these rats for a week and a half. They're
Probably
all-
have.
But then,
But obviously the one who's making the nest lives on.
yeah, it's wild, man.
From the Detroit Free Press, Plymouth Township, a woman was hospitalized last week after her robe caught fire during a live performance of The Glory of Christmas. This sounds like a movie that you would be interested in at Northridge Church. So this is kind of crazy, but apparently emergency responders were called. No, actually it says they were summoned. What's the difference between calling first responders and summoning them? To me, summoning is almost like you don't even have to reach out to them via like telephone, and you just go,
It might be the area it happened in. It's kind of like French people speak different language than us, and I can see they don't use the word call; they use the word summon.
summoned.
I can see that.
I think I'm going to summon you next time. I'm not going to call you.
Or
You know, I think you need to drop that into just
or they might still live in a caste system, you know. And
yeah. You know what? You need to drop that into casual conversation. I don't know, like this weekend when you're hanging out with Kurt or something,
Harold.
and you'd be like, "So the other day, I summoned Andrew to the studio," and just see what the responses are. And they're like, "What did you do to him?" I summoned him. Anyways, this is crazy, and I'm kind of surprised that this doesn't happen more often with the amount of robes and the amount of candles inside of a church. But I've never heard of anything like this happening before, but I can't imagine that was probably terrifying. So if you see that happen, you going to run up there and like try and help her, or are you going to think it's all part of the performance? Like, because during the Siegfried and Roy show, when he got eaten by the cat, there were a lot of people who didn't realize he was actually in peril.
Yeah, I believe
right?
that
because
they're watching
Yeah.
Siegfried and Roy play with
right,
cats.
they're like, oh, look at that, the cat just kind of was playing with him, and meanwhile his main artery is popped open. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
right. He's having a different kind of farm to table moment
no,
right there.
I would. Let's
But if you
see.
saw that, would you be like, man, she's really taken by the Holy Spirit right now? This is amazing. I love this church. It's very emotive. Or would you realize the dire situation? This woman was on fire. Dick?
Probably she's on fire. if I had
Okay.
to guess.
All right. I didn't know what time. Look, I don't know how religious you are, and I don't know if maybe that's the way it's done at your church. But she did have some minor burns, but she survived. Thank goodness. Last week, Dick, we talked about the AI apps
Yeah.
that make people nude. And I said I had this on the run sheet. It was something we were going to talk about, but we went ahead and talked a little bit about it. And we were discussing how these apps actually went about making people naked, whether or not it was using the bodies of people and putting them on faces,
I
or
was thinking about this.
taking the
conversation.
face and generating the body.
So
right?
can I hypothetically make me look like a woman?
I mean, I guess it depends on the parameters of the AI app. Because my assumption is, well, here's what I'll tell you. That
Wouldn't that be crazy? It's like the people who want to transition. They'd be like, well, I wonder what,
what I'm going to look like.
And then it's like, oh, I gotta look ugly. I don't want to do
But,
that.
like, what happens if you look
I don't
really
wanna
good?
do
You look
that.
really good, and you're like, oh man, I'm a hot chick.
Is cloning possible?
So basically, the way
Because I
this
still want to be a guy.
this app works is the way I was describing. You basically take a picture of someone's face and you upload it to this app, and I guess based off of
Color. And,
other nude photos that it has, access to, it can generate based off of your face what you might look like naked. Well, as you can imagine, this is a big problem because now there's going to be fake nudes out there of all kinds of people.
us.
Yeah, I mean, any number of people, I
See,
suppose.
I would use this though easily because I can.
No doubt.
I would.
I
be
bet
like-
you would.
I'd be like, hey,
Explain yourself.
I look buff. I tell the machine
I look like a buff woman.
I'm a buff guy, and then I put my picture. They didn't know it's me uploading it, and then I take that picture and I just crop it and put it as my Tinder profile.
Now you're thinking. But this will be close. Sans close. I guess you could put this like a little censored bar in front of the naughty giblets.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It says a group of 34 websites attracted more than 24 million unique visitors in September. Social media analysts have written about here in this MSN article. It's, like I said, this is kind of dangerous in my opinion because we aren't going to know what's real, what's not. Can have any number of people out there now running around with nudes, even if they're fake or not. I think it's pretty disturbing. What say you? Got to really think about it. It's bad. I'm going to say I think that this kind of stuff, this is where AI is not helping out society. There are certainly ways in which AI has helped us out. I'm going to say this is taking us back a step. Come on. Back in the old days, Dick, if you wanted to see a chick naked, you had to really work at it. That's my point. We're losing the...
Or you can just, not wait on it and just be a violent person.
No, not that. Well, I suppose you could do that too, but no. I'm talking about in the legitimate, above board way.
If people want to live on their phones, and not
If you
talk,
liked a
that's
woman
fine with
and
me.
you desire to see her in a state of undress,
Well, I'm more of a touchy.
you had
kind
to
of-
work at it.
I'm a touchy person, so yeah.
Now you just go home and upload her picture from
Or his picture, or like.
whatever you're into. Thank you for bringing that up.
What's funny is I did see.
I just think this is the easy way out, man.
No, there's an app where you could take a picture of a dog's face, and it'll show you a picture of him pooping. It's true.
Well, my calendar that I purchased for you is authentic, non-artificial intelligence created dogs pooping.
Well, what's so funny to me about this AI thing?
He really loves this
I love
calendar.
It.
Oh,
It's
I'm
one
so
of the best-
happy.
It is one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. And that's not.
I'm two for two.
I know you're. What was the other one?
The bubble shooter.
Oh well, I can't really talk about that. That basically got me a divorce. Thanks.
But you like it. You said
love it. I
it's
love it.
one of the best
Dude,
gifts you ever received. Huh?
But like, what's interesting to me about the AI concept is the punishment. So like, say you take a scenario where these
Right.
children, they got the girlfriend and like he took pictures of her and he's spreading it around school. But then you have a scenario B where this kid doesn't even have a girlfriend, just takes a picture of the yearbook, uploads that, and then it's like passes those pictures around. I could see parents going like, "Well, he didn't really do it though."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's like it's not real. So is it that bad? But you can't if you can't tell.
To me, it's the same.
I think it is as well. That's why I don't. If it's artificial generated or not, I
just
think you
meant
have to treat it
based
the
off the
same way.
punishment. You punish them the same.
Yeah, you
way.
punish them the same way. You tell them, I need to confiscate all those pictures right now, little Timmy. Hand them over. Every single one of them. And I'm going to need your AI generator account password.
Don't you remember that? I think it was only for a couple hours when Donald Trump was running for president, and I want to say it was when he was running again for the second time.
Okay, 2020.
Yeah, and somebody did an AI thing where it was him getting arrested in front of the New York because he was supposed to go somewhere in New York for something, and so someone did like an AI photo of him getting arrested.
Okay, yeah.
And they posted on Twitter, and people were freaking out for like
Yes.
3 hours thinking it was real.
Prior. Yep, I do
Thinking it
remember
was
that. The
real.
morning of. Oh, we got the picture. I do remember one where he was running from cops.
Yeah.
And they were like kind of grabbing at his jacket as he's running out the courtroom.
Well, there's one with like his wife like yelling like no, and so but I remember that one picture. There's only one that didn't look as dramatic. It was like it legit looked like he was being arrested and being taken somewhere. So I mean, the AI stuff's kind of crazy. And now when it comes to nudity and stuff like that, I think we're so desensitized to that kind of stuff that I think in the end we're already too far gone with it. Like.
Yeah, it's going to get to the point where you're running for president. The year is 2054, if that's even a presidential year. You're going to stand up and you're going to say, I'm Dick Schisler. I am announcing my candidacy for president of the United States.
Yeah.
Here is my nude right here, so everyone sees it. Okay, it's out there. You don't have to worry about it now. It's out.
No. See, the next story is that a real one or not?
That's up for you to decide, ladies and gentlemen.
That doesn't look real.
Vote for me and you'll find out.
That doesn't look real.
Yeah, that is way too generous.
Yeah.
He must have been using the free version of that app.
Yeah, the whole thing would create a lot
He
of
needed
chaos.
to spend $2.99 a month to make that a little more realistic.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
The free version is
that free version doesn't really flatter you. That's creepy.
you got to pay more to generate something that's a little more generous.
That's creepy.
Oh, it is creepy, and like I said, it's not going in a good place.
I don't think society though will really take an impact with that kind of behavior though. Meaning like it's not going to drastically change us as people. We're going to still think people who do that are buttheads.
I would hope so.
Like,
You would
I don't-
think, you would think that we would still interpret that crime the same way, and those people who commit the crimes the same way, whether or not it's AI generated. I would hope so.
Well, see, that's what's so creepy about it is if you think about back in the 1500s when they were painting women and men, there was a couple painters. I forgot what it was, but like they were painting angels, and well, angels are naked in some versions, you know.
They're all naked in your version, I suppose.
You know what I'm talking about? And so it's like, well, clearly that's
Yeah, and they have a little thing that flows over the midsection.
well, that's the section you see in the book, but like in real and
Oh, did you get the stuff at the back of the library? I never saw
dude.
those. They're really naked?
yeah, a lot. There's a lot of paintings back then. So, but I mean, I wonder if that would be considered the same thing, you know?
I don't think the angels were offended, if that's what you're saying. I don't think they were coming in pressing
Well, they're
charges.
made up pictures of people, but
Yeah.
he probably drew the angel based off of like, or she did based off of
His
like
wife walks in.
his wife or
Hey!
something. Like, hey, that looks a lot like you, doesn't it? It's like, yeah, to go off something. So that looks like Susie from the diner. They didn't have diners back then, but What do they have? What was the
The
bar?
Chow Hall. I don't know.
What was it called? The bar? The winery?
Maybe you, by the way, have your microphone the way that you have complained about Cindy Cochran.
It's pointed towards my mouth.
Yeah, this is, well, because you're slouched or your chair is.
This chair is trash.
Yeah, it's gotten lower and lower.
It's killing me right now.
Yeah. You look like a garden gnome with a mic in front of you.
Yeah.
Anyways, are you familiar with what the Texas Mega Bridge is? Have you heard of this thing? I don't know how I missed it, but apparently
is it?
it's down around Corpus Christi.
Yeah, I've been on it.
And it's well, I don't think you have.
I've been on
Unless you're trying to drown those rats because it hasn't been completed yet.
I've been on it.
But stretching 506 meters. How many meters, or how many feet is that, by the way? It's about 1,600 feet, which is about a quarter of a mile, okay? So, to me, that's not a super long bridge, but what this bridge is supposed to be, and why they're calling it a mega bridge, is because it's going to be over 200 feet tall throughout its entirety, which is massive. And that's way, way up there, of course, to allow ships to come in and out. Well, they started building this thing back in 2016, and they were expected to be done by 2020. But there have been all kinds of issues with this thing. Most notably in 2019, where during the process, a bridge in Florida collapses. Okay, and you might be thinking, well, who cares about a bridge in Florida collapsing? Well, as it turns out, it's the same engineering team that built that bridge that's building this bridge. And some people said, hey, I think we're going to have to do a little time out here. Your bridge you just got through building in Florida collapsed. We like bridges that don't collapse. You know, we like not putting our pedestrians in peril as they walk across it. So it got paused for that. Anywho, there's a number of different reasons, but they're trying now to start this back up again. And I hadn't even heard about this. And this seems like the type of project you would be hearing a little bit more about. Crazy. Nothing? You got nothing. The
Well, I
man
mean,
has
I don't.
nothing.
It's a bridge that hasn't been finished. Why do we care?
Well, because it's the Mega Bridge.
Okay.
This will be one of the longest cable-stayed bridges in America, Dick. You want to drive over that thing? I do, if it ever gets finished. They're about halfway through, it says. And what I think is interesting is, like, these people are complaining, non-engineers, I'm sure, and I just want to be like, if I were one of the people building it, you ever built a bridge? I mean, you probably couldn't even put together a Rubik's Cube, but, like, now you're complaining about the speed of my bridge? Get off me, bro.
Are you supposed to put those together?
Rubik's Cubes?
I thought you were supposed to solve the puzzle.
I always peeled the stickers.
Oh.
By the way, have you ever been able to complete a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you you're lying to me right now? Can you do it behind your back, eyes closed, like some of those kids can?
No. That stuff's amazing to me.
It really is. Yeah, it really, really
But
is.
no, I don't understand why this is a big deal. The bridge isn't even done, and who cares?
All right, moving on. How about a really tall ass building? Construction on the world's tallest building resumes after a 5-year hiatus.
Oh my gosh, what's the delay? Is it COVID?
Yeah, sort of. Well, this one is being. This one, the funding is not necessarily on the up and up. Among other problems impacting the tower's completion was the 2017 corruption purge related arrest of Bakr bin Laden, owner of the former tower contract of the Bin Laden Group. So this is a tower in the Middle East. And of course, you know how these people are. They like to build massive, massive buildings. I wanted you to show this picture because it looks absolutely ridiculous.
Did you know in certain areas in Saudi Arabia they don't even have plumbing?
But yet they're going to have a building that is going to be 3,280 feet tall.
It might be in Qatar, but like they have to ship.
Is it Qatar or Qatar?
The only reason I call it Qatar is I had a friend whose family lived there for like 6 years. And when they came back, they were like, they always said Qatar. And I was like, okay, that's probably what it's called then, maybe. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, all the sewage and everything, they put in trucks and they ship it out. So all those tall buildings, they don't have like sewage systems.
Can you imagine the amount of trucks they're going to need for a building that's 3,000 feet tall?
That's what I'm saying. It's wild.
Oh my God. It looks so ridiculous. I mean, there's a concept picture of it right now of what it's going to look like when it's completed, but there's another picture right below it where it was started and stopped several times. It started in 2013, and this photo is taken in 2018, and it's 50 stories tall, just stopped right in the middle of construction. But they have restarted the attempt to build this thing, and it's going to look ridiculous once it is complete.
I can't find this article. I'm kidding you.
It's all right.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for the great gift.
You're welcome.
I do feel a little bit bad not getting you something, but
It's true to the
again-
bit. True to the bit.
again,
You don't shop.
but no, but see, the thing is,
You're already done with your Christmas shopping for 2024. We know this.
well, see, I don't just get gifts for an occasion. I get gifts for people who I think
Really deserve it.
really deserve a gift. And it doesn't have to be for Christmas. It could be like literally in 3 months. And you can be like, it's not even my birthday. I'm like, well, just consider it your Christmas gift. I don't care. Just take it. I got this for you.
Because you, quote, deserve it.
Well, I don't not deserve it, but like, oh, I thought of you. Here's your gift.
I love how throughout the year you're just
Like,
sort of
wouldn't that
you're
guy-
kind of measuring up people whether or not they're going to get a gift. That guy definitely not a gift. So undeserving. This guy,
You know, that
maybe
would
a
you
gift.
realize that would throw everybody off. Because if I got everyone's Christmas gift throughout the year, so say like I see my mom, sometime in June, and it's like she comes to see me for my birthday, right? And I'm like, oh hey, I got you something, and she's like, oh thank you. I'm like, that's your Christmas gift. That's
it would throw everybody off.
would
Yes.
throw
There's a
everybody
reason
off.
why we celebrate Christmas at Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's now just a gift.
I need to start
suppose.
doing that. I just need to start.
Yeah.
I'm just-
First,
I'm- I'm
first
not-
just buy gifts.
yeah. I'm just warming
Then
up,
you can
guys.
disperse them throughout the year, I suppose.
It's like an advent calendar. Every month you get something from me. I'm trying to make up. Yeah, let's talk about that. Advent calendars are pretty tight.
Yes.
I saw a really cool one. My nephew got a Lego one,
Right.
and I was like, I bet this was expensive.
Yeah. Everything Lego is
Yeah, for
expensive.
some reason.
Well, remember we talked a couple of weeks ago about the proper time to take up or put up and take down the Christmas tree was according to the Advent calendar. So, but you're talking about the actual physical thing that you can put on the wall or
Yeah.
build or.
Are they not
Take
called advent calendars?
I mean, yeah, I think yeah.
Because I
If we're talking about the same one,
well, I mean, I get one.
we got one right now. You get chocolates out of
Yeah,
it.
that's usually what we got, and that was cool and everything. But yeah, when he had a Lego one, I kind of wanted one. I was a little jealous.
Yeah, I'm sure you can still purchase one. Of course, not for Christmas. You need to do it in March. Like
Or
a true
whenever
Advent
I feel like I deserve it. That's how that works.
All right, onesies, that's all we have time for this week. I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas. Celebrate in the way that you do. When we come back next week, maybe or maybe not, we'll have a dead rat story. I don't know.
Is that it?
I was waiting for you to
Yeah.
give your Merry Christmas.
I was working on
to
closing
everyone.
the show out. Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and I really want people to start calling us. So that
I
number
don't.
again is
I don't.
936. The only reason I really want you guys to, because Andrew's gonna be.
I gotta go through
He's
all
gonna
of
be
it.
the one doing it.
Right.
936-463-2322. You can always find our contact information below in the description. So make sure to reach out. Thank you so much for listening to Audience One. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you. We're actually not skipping a beat, so we're going to be back.
That's right.
Next
We will have a
Wednesday.
show right after Christmas too, on the 27th. That's right. We're not
Yeah.
skipping. We're in for the long haul, baby.
All right, see you.
See you, Ben.